Okay, so in this video we will see the next thing related to the fast API. So let's check what we have covered till now. So let me activate the environment. Okay, so let me open the main file which we have created till now. So in the first video, we have see how to create a very basic fast API. So we have just imported the fast API class from the fast API module. We created the instance of the app and we created a single route, that is the app.get users route, and return some any string or a dictionary or a JSON message, right? In the second video, we could see how to set the metadata. Even in the first video itself, we set the metadata, but we set the metadata within the code itself. That is, we hard coded the metadata, we hard coded the title, we hard coded the version. In the second video, we could see how to pass this title, version, name, email from some configuration file. So we created one configuration file. So let me show you as well. Nano config. So we have created one configuration file and we define title, version, description, name, email, and we passes that metadata information by importing the configuration file, right? In the third video, what we see, so in the third video, generally these are not just the configuration file, but we have to configure a lot of things the database URL, the database port, the database server, database username, database password, right? So generally these are recommended to be set in the environment variables. So I told you in the last video, we have two options. So either we can set all these in our system environment variables, but if we set this in our system environment variables and we have to pass this code to someone else, they have to again, before running this code, they have to set the system variables again at their end, right? So the best way is to define all these environment variables in a .env file, and we will load all these environment variable using the .env module. So let me show you. So if I do nano.env, so we have created one .env file and we have defined all this sensitive information, what is the username, what is the password, what is the server. So let me correct the password. Okay, let it be first. Let me give the wrong password. That's okay. And give me some testing. So we have defined this thing in .env file, but these are defined into the .env file. Ideally we need to define into this configuration into the configuration file. So we are loading the .env file. So it is we are using the load .env function. We are loading the .env file. Now it is considered as a system environment variables, system variables. So if we have to access the system variables, we are just accessing the using the OS module. So we define all these parameters like Postgres user, Postgres password. So till now we have just defined it, but how to connect with this particular database, right? So we will see how to connect to the Postgres SQL database. Okay, so we will use the SQL Alchemy. So if you go to the official documentation of the fast API and if you go to the tutorial guide, within the tutorial guide, so I have skipped everything. Even I will cover later on everything. So if you open this SQL relationship relational databases, so we have to we will cover a few of things, very basic things first. First we understand how to connect the database, what all the things are required. So this is a guide, we can go through that. Okay, but I will like tell you the like important things. So they told that okay, using the fast API we can connect with multiple database, that is the Postgres SQL, MySQL, SQLite, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, like any database using the SQL Alchemy, right? And we will use the SQL Alchemy only to connect with the database. So first we have to understand like how the SQL Alchemy like work. So let me show you, because if we know how the SQL Alchemy work, then we can easily write the code. So how the basically the SQL Alchemy work is, so these are like the steps which we have to write in our code as well. So first we have to create a engine. If you look at this diagram, so first we have to create a engine, and while creating the engine we will like give the database URL. So you could see like from SQL Alchemy they are importing the create engine, and they are like creating the engine and giving the database URL. So first we have to create the engine. So once the engine get created, even though we have passed the database URL, but this will not connect with the DB API. This command will create the pool and create the dialect. So dialect is basically like how the create engine will know, like because this is the SQL Alchemy, right? So in the SQL Alchemy we define the tables in the form of classes, and automatically all these like it automatically generate the query. But for the SQLite actual query is different. The syntax of SQL query is different. For the Postgres SQL, the SQL query is different. For the my MS SQL, it's different. For the MySQL, it is different query, right? But SQL Alchemy query is common. So how SQL Alchemy like going to know that for which database I have to like create the query? So it will read this dialect, right? And based on this dialect, whatever the dialect will be mentioned here, it will like generate the corresponding SQL queries. So that's why first we have to create an engine, and create engine will not connect with the database. No, it will not connect with the database. Even though we have passed the database URL, it will only create the pool and it will create the dialect. Dialect is just to tell the engine like which SQL query you have to like create when we run the SQL Alchemy queries. Okay, so first we have to create a engine, right? Once the engine will be created, we will like bind that particular engine with the session. So we will like create a one session. So session is like a particular instance for the a database. So you can say session is a kind of a workspace. So they have given a very good example. Let me show you. So they I think give a very good, yeah. So they have given a very good example. So what is a basic session? So session is basically a thread, or you can say it is a kind of a workspace for your object. So wherever we will do a work, so we will create a one session. So they told that let's suppose if there is a guest, and the guest like attending some dinner party, right? So the guest will like to eat the food, like the guest will take a plate, and within the plate whatever the objects will be there, like whether it is a food or whether it is a juice or any other like things will be there, it is related to the particular guest, right? So a plate is called a like session for the particular database. So whatever we will put in a plate, so that will like dedicated for a one particular person which is attending the particular party. So that's why like we will create a session. So session is a kind of a workspace in which like we will like perform like all kind of operation, right? So second, like we will create a session, but okay, we have created a session. So how to tell like this session is for which engine, that is for which database engine? So we have to bind the particular engine with the session. So either we can like do in two steps, that is first create a session, and then we will like configure the session by mention the bind engine, or otherwise like we can like create in a like a single instance itself. Okay, so yeah, after that like we have to connect with the engine. Okay, now we have just connected with the database, but like ideally we have to create a tables, like if we have to connect with the database, so database should exist. So if the database doesn't exist, it will like fail with some unknown object. The database should exist, whether the table exists or not doesn't matter, but the database should exist. So once so till now what we have seen, we have first create a engine. Okay, we will create a engine. So engine will automatically at the back end, it will create a pool and the dialect, and then we will like connect with the DB API like by some commands. But before that, like we will create a session as well for a particular just create a workspace. Okay, along with that, after that we have to define some tables. So in the SQL Alchemy is basically the ORM. ORM is like object relationship mapper. So right, so it is a object relationship mapper, object. So when we say object, so we have to define all the objects in a form of classes. So we have to define the table in a in the form of a you can say classes. So we will define a table in a form of a classes, but how that class know like this table is corresponding to the particular database. So we, while defining the particular class, we will inherit from some base class, that is the declarative class. So we will like create a first declarative base class, and that declarative base class will connected with that engine, and while creating the particular table using the classes, so we will inherit the particular base class, so that the particular class should know like for which database this class belongs. So once the database will get created, we have to read the database, we have to build the metadata. Metadata means like what all the tables are present, what is the structure. So second thing is that we have to read the database and we have to build the metadata. So once we have the metadata, then we will like create the object. So these are the sequence of steps which we have to perform. Okay, so maybe you will get only 10% what I have speak, but when we actually follow these steps, you will like go to know what all these steps, why we are performing all these steps. Okay, so we have like two option. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, so let me close this. I think main.py already open. Yeah, so we have two options, either like define everything within the same file, main.py file, that is define the database, create a engine, or define the classes as well. So everything like do in this, so that will also work, but we will not follow this approach, because otherwise this file become very large. So we will follow a different approach. So what we will do, we will first create a database file, database.py file. So we will define database URL. So with which URL like we have to connect. So database URL, if you remember, we have already defined in the configuration file. So we have to read the database URL from the config file, from config import setting, right? So if I open config file and nano config.py file, so we have already defined the database URL into the config file, and now we have to connect with the particular database URL, but we need the database URL. So we will import this particular database URL from this config file. So we have this setting object for the particular class. So using this setting dot database URL, we will like get the particular object. get the particular attribute. So what we will do from config, so from this config file we have like import the object, that is the setting object. So we have imported the setting object. So now like we have to define the database URL. So we are using the SQL Alchemy. So this is a particular keyword, you can say reserved keyword. So we have to define into this SQL Alchemy underscore database underscore URL. So what we have to do, I don't think it is a reserved keyword, I'm not sure. Okay, so what we will do, setting dot what is the attribute we have to fetch, database URL. So setting dot database underscore URL. Now we have the database URL. Okay, we have the database URL, but as I told you, first we have to create a, where is the file, first we have to create a engine, right? So we will create a engine from SQL Alchemy import create engine. So we will create a engine create engine, and we have to like pass the database URL. So we have created the engine, right? And we are good till this point. The second point is, I told you that we have to define a workspace, that is we have to define some session. So if you go through the official documentation, so if you just in case if you forget like create engine function is in which library, or if you like forget like how to create the session like in which library it is, so you can follow the like anytime you can follow the documentation. If you know the process, then you can like easily Google it, but if you don't know like what we have to create, then how you will even Google it. So first it is good like we should know the process. So now the second thing is we have to create a engine, we have to create, we have already created the engine, but we have to create a session. So first we will like from SQL al alchemy dot orm import session maker. Okay, now we will session local. So it is a local session basically for the particular database connection. So we are creating a session maker. So we have created a session maker, but we have not tell to the session maker this session is linked with which engine, which database. So we have to tell we have to bind this particular engine. So bind is equal to engine, but there are few more parameters whether you want to give or not, it's up to you. So as per the official documentation, we can give like few more parameters. First is auto commit is equal to false. So we will like commit like whenever we run any query, we have to generally like issue a commit command. So auto commit should be false. Auto flush is also false. So whether you give this two parameter, it's up to you, but bind engine we have to give, because we have to tell this session is for which workspace, like this workspace is for which database, right? So we have created a workspace, but this workspace is for which database, we have tell okay this is for this database. Okay, so we have like done this. The third thing is like I tell you like we have to connect to the engine. Just forget this till now. Other thing is like I tell you we have to define our tables. So whenever we define the tables, we have defined in the form of classes, right? And if we define our classes, how that table know like this table is related to the which database, right? So we will create a one base class using the declarative base, and we will connect this declarative base with our engine, so that this base class should know I am like dealing with which database. And when we create our actual table class, we will inherit this base class as well. So basically like there is a three-way connection. Okay, so we have to like import declarative base class. So from SQL alchemy dot ext dot I think declarative what is the spelling, declarative, import declarative base. So we will create a base class, base declarative base, but with which it will like connect, we will have create the declarative base class. Okay, okay, so we have like created the declarative base class. So we are like good till this point. So database.py we have like defined, we have created the engine, we have created the session, we have created a very base class. So now we have to like actually define our tables, what all the tables we want to create. So either you can define the table within this file, or you can define the table in some another file, but we will do in some another file. So let's save this and create the one more file, models.py. So generally we called the tables as a models. Okay, so we have to define the table. So let's define the table class user, and as I told you, we will like inherit from the base class, right? So we will inherit from the base class. So but we already defined the base class in the database. So first we imported that from database, import base. Okay, so and now we will use, now there are few things which you should know. So whenever we like define, let me show you table name, table name, yeah. So whenever like we declare our like any table, so two attributes are minimum required. So one is the underscore table name attribute, and one is the one column. At least the table should have one column, and that column should the primary column, plus one attribute should be there, like the table name attribute. If we have these two attributes, like these are the minimum required basically, like to create a table, and rest like we can pass so many information, but these are the minimum required. So you could say a class using declarative, a minimum needs a table name attribute and at least one column which is a part of the primary key. Okay, so we will define table name basically users. Okay, so table name is defined, and now we will like define id column. So id column is integer, and it is primary key is equal to true, true, and index is also true. So what is column, what is integer? So we have like we have to import this column and the integer. These are the column and the integer are the we have to import it from SQL alchemy, import column, import integer. Okay, so if you go to the official documentation, so you can like find. So from SQL alchemy we are like importing the like column. So now we will like define one more field, email. So basically we are creating a table which has two field, ID and the email. So that it is a separate column, but it is of a type string. So we have to import the type string as well. Okay, it is a type string, and let create this as a primary key as well. So primary key is also true. Primary key, not a primary key, primary key only one, there should be only one primary key, but let it be unique. Unique key or unique is equal to true, and let make it is index as well. Index is equal to true. So we have define our table. So class user and from database import base from SQL copy, we have like define our model. So whatever if you in future, let's suppose you create 10 tables for your project, so all the tables you can define into the models.py file. So that's why like we created a separate file. Okay, so table is defined. So how this table know like for which database I have to connect, because we told that it is like a base. We are like connecting it with the base, right? And if you open database.py, but till now base is not connect with the engine, right? So how the base should know? Okay, the table should know I have to connect with the base, but the base didn't know through which database like under which database I have to create the particular table. So we will like define that as well. So next step is, so if you could see, we have defined the table. Next step is to reading the database and build the metadata. So when we build the metadata, actually at that time we will like create it. So first we will have to import the base. So from models, no, not from model, from database import base. Okay, and what we have to do, base dot metadata dot create all, and bind is equal to engine, and we have to import the engine as well. From database import engine. I think it will work. So let me cross check. So yes, so from base dot metadata create all, and we are binding the engine. Yeah, so here we are telling the base to which database you should connect. So engine is our database, and because we are using the engine and the base, so that's why like we imported from the database.py file. From database we are importing the base and the engine. Okay, so let's try to run our app, and we will see whether it will connect to the database and whether it will create the particular user table or not. So till now we have only in the PG admin, we have only two tables, job card and the Postgres, but our table name is if we see our table our database name is testing, right? And we don't have the testing database. So we are as I told you, the database should exist, only then it will create a table, right? But the database doesn't exist, but still we will like run our app, and we will see whether it will fail or not. So we are running the app, so I am expecting it should fail. So okay, right now it failed with some another error, SQL Alchemy. So it is a spelling mistake, so let me correct that. So SQL Alchemy, okay, now it failed with the password authentication, because before creating the database it is trying to connect with the Postgres SQL. So let me correct the password. So you can set the password as well. So I will also show you how to reset the password. So it's my password. Okay, Now it will fail, the database testing doesn't exist. So let's create the database. So just right click on it and create a database. So create a database testing and save it. So testing database has been created, and if you open the schema and open the tables, so right now we don't have any table, right? So let's rerun the app again. Now the application has been started, so we should expect the table should be created. So under the testing, now under the tables, where is the table? Refresh. Oh, where is the table name? Refresh. The table should come here. Is it failed? Let me check. The app is up. Localhost 8000 docs. Yeah, app is perfectly up. I think we did something wrong. Let's debug. Why the table doesn't created. So let me close this app. Nano main.py file. So base.metadata.create all bind engine. So it is perfectly okay, and it should run. Or do we need to define it? Yeah, it is defined here only. Okay, it is coming from the models. 1 minute. Nano database.py file. So in the database we have the base class defined, nano models. So in the model we have the user table, but they have read from the models, nano main.py file. So let's read from models as well. From database import engine, from models import base. Not sure why this happened, but control C. What happened here? Why I'm unable to terminate this? Close terminal. Okay, so let me activate the environment again. Okay, now we will start uvcon main app -- reload. So application started. So refresh tables. Yeah, so now we able to see a user table, and under the users table the columns are ID and the email. So we are successfully connected with the Postgres SQL. We have created the table name as well. I still in the doubt, why we have to import the base class from models. So I'm not sure, because the base is defined in our database class, because nano base is defined in our database class, so we can directly import from database, like import base nano models.py. Probably that could be the reason, because our table which we have to create is defined under the models file. So that could be like one of the reasons. So we are importing the base class, because we are importing the base into the models, so we are importing this base from the models. So that could be like one of the reasons. So let me cross check the official documentation if I found something. If you know something, like, you can also tell me. Let me check. How should I check, yaar? From where they are importing the models from. Dot import models. We are importing the models here from import models, SQL Alchemy model and the schemas. Okay, but did they mention anything like that? No. Anyhow, leave that. So just remember that wherever our table structure is defined, that is table class is defined, we have to import the base class from that file. So as part of this video, what we have seen, how to connect with the Postgres SQL database. So first we have to create an engine, then we have to create a session, and then with the session, that session is a kind of workplace. So we have to inform the session, okay, to which engine, you are the workspace, you treat it as a workspace. Then we will define some our tables. But when we define our tables, how that particular, we will define our table in a form of classes. Okay, we have defined the table in a form of classes. And when we define a table, so two attributes are the mandatory attributes. So one is the underscore table name, and second attribute, there should be at least one column. There could be multiple column, but at least one column. So we have and that column should be the primary key. But how that particular class or table know to which database I have to link? So we have to inherit the base class. But what is the base class? So we are defining the base class using the declarative base, right? And then we have to read the metadata. So how we are reading the metadata? Using the base.metadata. So it read the metadata, and to the on the top of the metadata, we are issuing the function create all function. So let me again show you nano main.py file. Yes, so we are telling the base to the metadata. We are reading the metadata, and to the once we read the metadata, we are telling that create all, everything, create all. So whatever the changes, it will investigate, it will found. So it doesn't mean that it will drop and recreate every time. No, it will not do in this way. Let's suppose if I put some entries into the user table, and if I rerun this application, the entries which I have did into the user table, it will not get deleted. Though even I have not tested, but I think this should work only in this way. We will see in the coming videos. So and to the base class, we are telling, okay, to which under the which database you should create the table. So we are telling that under this database, that is the engine database, you have to create the tables. Okay, so in the database, we have first defined the URL, because the database URL we define into the config. So that's why we import the config. And then we have to create the engine. We have created an engine. Then we create the session. We created the session, and to the session we tell that, okay, you are the session is only for the particular database. So we tell that session is for the particular database. Then we created the base class, because this base class is required to create the actual tables, right? And then we have created our a normal table. So the table will always be defined in the form of classes. So let's suppose if we define another table, we have to define another class, and the two attributes should be minimum required, that is underscore table name, and then one is the id column. So this is the table name, is by which name it will created the table. So it will created the table with the user's name, not with the username. So user is a class name, but we have defined that the particular explicitly the table name. So users is the table name. Okay, so yeah, so that's the end of the video. We have like covered everything. Okay, thank you.